What's up, y'all? Welcome back to Truth About Him, the #1 podcast for men's health and wellness. I'm Anthony.
I'm Barron.
Welcome back to part 2 of the questions we're asking.
Part
questions
2.
that are asked, when we're asking us.
Asking
right?
us,
asking
yes.
us.
And we're reading them as we see them. So,
hold a second. Something very, very important. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday
It
to
is.
you.
It is somebody's birthday.
Yeah,
yes.
so your birthday was yesterday.
Yes,
so
birthday was yesterday.
We didn't record, so I had to get that out. Happy birthday. happy 27 years old.
Yeah, we'll take that.
My boy 27.
Run that. 27 times 27 cubes, a square. Cube.
Yeah.
We'll run that.
How was your birthday though?
It was cool, brother. It was really nice to just get away and just unplug and renewed energy now. So
right.
I'm like, I'm dialed in.
Good. Well,
I needed it for these questions too.
I hear that. Hope you enjoyed it. So everybody in the comments, wish our boy, happy birthday in the comments, so you can see the love that you guys have.
27th birthday.
27th birthday.
27th birthday. Yeah.
So Part 2, ready to get into it?
Let's get into it. Let's get into it.
Part 1 had a really good response.
Yeah.
Really good response.
Yeah.
So we had so many questions, so now we got to do Part 2. So go ahead and read the first question.
All right, Part 2. First question is, what type of experiences prevent men from avoiding commitment? Interesting. Our history always plays a part in our future, basically. Some of us that come from, I wouldn't say broken homes, but just didn't have a father in the home or consistently. That plays plays a lot in how we move in the future. If we don't have those positive things around us as men, we kind of get one-sided when it comes to relationships. It's meaning this. We don't necessarily know how to take responsibility as men because we never seen it in our household. If we don't have the grandfathers, the uncles, for me it was my grandfather. It was my best friend's father. Some of those, when my father was absent, I had these positive men in my life. So they showed me how to be responsible, how to be accountable. And sometimes, if you don't have that, some things fall through the cracks.
Right.
So your history plays a part of it. How you were raised, your environment plays a part of it. And then your past relationships, just like women, our past relationships play a part in our future relationships. So I would say to whoever's asking that question, what type of experiences prevent? I don't think it necessarily prevents. I think it delays. I think it causes us to be more cautious.
Well, from how I read it, it seems to me that she's asking the question according to like committing to a woman. Like, is there things that we're doing as women to keep men from committing or avoiding commitment? That's how I see it. I could be wrong.
That's an interesting look at it. Let's tackle it from that perspective then.
Yeah. Answer
from that perspective then. What type of experiences prevent men from avoiding commitment?
So, you know what? I never really think it's about the other person. I always think it's about us.
Exactly.
Right? So like you said before, like we do things based off of experience, based off things that we went through, things that happened in our life. But then again, I think both sides do, right? So if you're a woman that's wondering why your man or he's trying to prevent commitment, it can be a few things. First of all, it may not even be you, right?
Right.
Some men, excuse me, some men want to wait. I think you said this. Like you wanted to wait until you had certain things in order before you pulled the trigger on Mary and Medina, right? You wanted to, provide a certain lifestyle, right?
Yep.
So if you're dealing with a man who has some ambition, has some goals, has things going for himself, he's not committing, it may be that, right? It may be, he wants to hold off and not do certain things because he want to make sure that he can provide at least the basics for you.
Right.
not waiting till you have this mega mansion, all this money, whatever. Just be able to provide the basics and be a good provider, right?
That was pretty much it. But one thing, some things that we do is we want like the perfect,
Right.
the perfect time to
Right.
do it. We want to have this in line perfectly. We want to have this in line perfectly. And the reality is sometimes, most times than not, it'll never be a perfect situation to take that next step.
Right.
It's growth. It's like, nobody's ever prepared for growth. You can always work towards it, but when it's time to grow, that's why they call it growing pains.
Yeah.
So it's good to, to do the basics. I get it. You don't want to level down,
Yeah.
but don't get so focused on trying to make things perfect
Right.
that you lose out on, a potential family.
Yeah. And sitting here thinking about it as you're talking, I mean, I don't believe that in the beginning, while you're working on being committed and you're working on building something bigger and better for you and him, I don't believe that's anything that you can do to have him avoid commitment. It's something that's in him.
Right.
What it is, who knows? Me, and really that comes down to the conversation that you guys have often. The check-ins, hey, what's going on? Because if you have to ask why he's avoiding commitment, the relationship, in my opinion, is not as tight as it needs to be, or you think it is.
Right.
You should be able to know how that man ticks. What's going on and what he's waiting for, because it's based on conversations.
All
And
based on communication.
Most couples don't have conversations like this.
Yeah.
They take things at face value. Well, he's acting a certain way. He's doing well. Not even that. I assume that we're good because we're not arguing.
Right.
Right. So I would say is that the prevention of men of wanting commitment has to. This is a question that you should know, because if you know your partner, you will know, and if he knows you, he will communicate. Right. So this comes down to communication.
All about a conversation of like, what can we do, and then you know what? I don't even think it's so we're communicating, but now you have to know how to effectively communicate with your partner.
Right.
If you are combative in your stance, that's what we're going to automatically get defensive.
Yeah.
But if you're like, I'm wondering why if you use those we terms, those not you, what are you, why aren't you, more so, what can we do to get to that next level? Or do we even want to get to that next level?
Right.
What are we doing?
Right.
What's our end game? What's our goal? You make it more collaborative.
Right.
So it's just about I think it's all in how you ask the question.
Okay, cool. So next one, what parts/aspects of failure paralyze men from trying again? I actually like this one.
Ooh.
I like this one.
Ooh.
So
aspects.
It really goes back to experience, right? What experiences did we have? And first of all, let me say this: men, we are not supposed to take our past experiences into new ones. Now, if we are healing or correcting what we've experienced, then that's different. But we don't take the negative traits of our past experiences into a new relationships, right?
Right.
We were on a certain vibration back then. We don't take the same vibration in, right? It's a challenge. I get it, but if you commit to some mental and physical and spiritual healing, then you will have less of that, right?
Right.
So, trying again for men after a breakup, after a divorce, after whatever is very, very challenging, right? It's a scary place, right? Because if you've been accustomed to a certain lifestyle, a certain partner for so long, and then that ends, say it ends bad, right? Say it ends very traumatic, and then excuse me, you go into a new relationship, and you're looking for those red flags before you even go into it. You're looking for what's can go wrong before it even happens. You're waiting for the relationship to drop, and it's not going to drop. And then when that new partner starts to do things that you're not used to, you think something's wrong, something's off, right? Because you're not used to it, right? So I think fear of the same thing happening again kind of paralyzes us for moving forward. But again, if we take some time and invest in the healing and the therapy, it won't be as difficult as as it can be.
And I think that is the key. That's the key part component right there to that equation is, yeah, once things happen, whether they're, super traumatic or not as traumatic, did we do the work on ourselves before we
Right.
moved on?
Right.
Did we find out what the root cause was, and was it us?
Right.
Because sometimes trauma is self-inflicted.
Right.
So did we work on that? Did we learn from that? And honestly ask yourself, did we move on?
Right.
Did we
Right.
move on
Right.
from that?
Right.
Because some people will say they moved on just because it's been a few months.
Right.
And they feel they should move on, but realistically they haven't dealt with nothing.
Right.
And then they carry that into whatever new experiences they move forward to. And then, like you said, those red flags, when you're looking for something, 9 times out of 10, you're going to find it.
Right.
When you are looking for a reason to not be happy, when you're looking for a reason to find out why this person is doing this, why this person isn't doing this, you're looking for items and things to validate your own insecurities.
Right.
So my question is, why are you even insecure?
Right.
What you haven't clearly worked on? You haven't worked on anything. So of course that's going to be paralyzing to your future relationship. If you get your leg cut off, and one of the first things they're going to do, they're going to allow this leg to heal, but the one thing you're going to have to do is strengthen your other leg.
Right.
So if you never strengthen that other leg, you'll never know how to walk right again because you've never strengthened your base leg. So when you get the artificial one on there, you're still going to be in the same place you was. You're still going to be paralyzed. You're still going to be crippled because you never worked on your what you have already. So when you are in a relationship and you come out of that relationship, there's bloodshed there. There's emotional bloodshed. There's emotional bloodshed. And some of that is because of you. Some of that is because of your partner. But you have to work on what you did and what hurt you so bad, and just find out why it even hurt you so bad. Deal with that, and then know as you go that past trauma is exactly what that is.
Past trauma.
Past
Like
trauma.
that.
You learn from the past. You don't live in the past.
Yeah.
So, what aspects of failure? Failure is, I like how it's in parentheses.
Yeah.
It's because that makes it subjective. If failure is different levels for different people.
And I think a big aspect of it as well is that failure is that, we as men feel like that we gave up. And if we hop into something else, we have the fear that it may happen again.
Right.
Right. But they all circles back to if you strengthen yourself and become better and learn from that experience, learn from that failure, then you become better and more likely it won't happen again. If you try again with a new person being the same person that you were in the last one, the same thing is going to happen.
Exactly.
You go into a relationship, a new one, renewed and being a new person, right? And then that way, that fear of failure goes away.
Now I'm really looking at this question, and I'll keep reading it because I'm going to ask you a question that I want to get your understanding. What aspects of failure paralyze men from trying again? What is the fear of failure and fear? What's the difference? Like, I fear failure, but I also fear disappointing my partner. I fear maybe not living up to that aspect. Do you think that can sometimes paralyze men from trying as hard in relationships since they may have tried harder in the past and it didn't work out? So maybe just the fear of being vulnerable, the fear of letting go of past trauma, because that's all you know.
Yeah.
Do you think that can paralyze us from growing in a new relationship?
Definitely. Excuse me. I think so. And one thing that we have to do is like recognize like what fear is.
Mm-hmm.
Fear is an anxiety of something in the future that hasn't happened yet,
Mm-hmm.
right? So if we go into anything with that anxiety, with that, oh, this might go wrong, I think in a sense we're pre-writing a story that
Mm-hmm.
that we're starting to live out, right? Because what you focus on becomes your reality, right?
Exactly.
So if you focus on, you know what, this might go wrong, that might go wrong, most likely it will, and it can. But if you think, you know what, I'm new, I'm renewed, I'm healing, my past, doesn't define me, then even if something goes wrong, you're more equipped to deal with it, right?
Right.
Um, what's your question again?
Does fear of just like disappointing because you've tried so much, you've given 100% of yourself in
Mhm,
past relationships, and
mhm.
you fear giving 100% even more, you're just going to be hurt. So
Right.
sometimes the fear of hurt paralyzes us from extending
Oh yeah,
ourselves
yeah,
in relationships.
yeah. The fear of having the same thing happen over and over and over again.
Right.
And again, it's like if we stay the same person that we were in the previous, then yeah, history is going to repeat itself because we act the same, we talk the same, we think the same, and move the same, right? So most likely it's going to happen again.
I mean, yeah, that's typical insanity, right? Typical definition. Repeating the same thing and you know it didn't
Right,
work. So that's typical. Like, if you want something new, try something new,
right,
do something new.
right, exactly. All right, what's the next one?
What defines a safe space for a man? Hmm. Um, for it, so we got to realize these are women asking us
Right,
these questions.
right.
So
So maybe it's about her.
possibly, what defines a safe space for a man could also be interpreted as, what can I do as a woman
Right,
to provide a safe space for a man or my man?
right,
Um, you gotta learn your man. You have to learn
right,
sometimes when he comes in, he doesn't want to be that. When he comes in from a day, it doesn't have to be that just immediate barrage of, we need this, we need that, we
right,
need this, we
right,
need this, we need that, we need that, or why you didn't do this, why you didn't do that, why you didn't do this, why you didn't do that. Those are those things. You ease into those type of things,
right,
because we shut down immediately, because the world is we have put up and we have dealt with the world for however long we've been gone.
hmm, hmm,
We've been in our heads for however long we've been away or gone. We've been in our own heads,
hmm.
putting pressure on ourselves to do better, putting timelines on ourselves to do better, putting pressure on ourselves to not go without.
Yeah,
So we don't. That added pressure does not help at all. It may be tolerated at the time, but it doesn't, in totality, help us as a total
right,
human.
right, right, right,
So what defines a space? A space where we can be vulnerable, a space to be honest without being judged, without feeling that it's going to be used against us 3 years, 4 years down the
hmm,
line. Um, and somebody we can also have fun with.
right,
Like, you have to have a foundation of, a space
yeah,
where, what do we like to do for fun that's not stressful, that doesn't cause, stress to you or me. It's just something that's carefree and fun for us, that we can do and enjoy together. That's a safe space. That's a peaceful place.
yeah,
I would say to the lady that wrote this question, be his place of peace, be his confidant, be his battery in his back.
yeah,
Um, there's a lot, but those things are the core things that we need to give you the world.
yeah. Right,
You know, that's what I think, that just being in that place where he can not feel judged is the perfect space for him,
right,
for
right,
us.
right. Um, so on this one, as you're talking, I'm thinking. Um, so for me, I would say you use the word confidant. right?
Mm-hmm.
Be a confidant. Be you can be a safe place because if he comes to you with something, it's very very challenging for us to come to our women in a place of weakness and vulnerability,
Yeah.
right? Because we feel that we'll be looked at in a way that's less of a man, right? We do that. We want to make sure that whatever we say, whatever we do, how we feel, that stays with you, right? It's with you, and you keep that and you hold that. And please, once you get upset at me, don't use that as ammunition or weaponize that,
Right.
right? Because now we don't feel safe. And we may talk to you after that, but it would never be a deep, intimate vulnerability talk again, right?
It'll be a different
Because
level. Yep.
we're done.
Yep.
We're not being vulnerable with you anymore.
Right.
So that safe place is like, you know what? Just look through the toughness, look through the muscle, look through the the big image that you see. Just like, you know what? He's saying something that typically if I don't honor this, or if I what's the word, I guess, misuse his trust, it will never come back to me again. Right? I'm done. So just like you, just like whatever he says, keep it to yourself and don't weaponize what he says in vulnerability against him when you get upset.
And I think that's like one of the things that looking at that, and now that you're saying that, do you think that do you think that we do that? Well, I don't think men do that to women. I don't personally see it, but
I think that a man can
could be
learn
wrong.
that,
Yeah.
right?
How to weaponize them.
Yeah, because he's experiencing it so much, and now after a while, like, you know what, I'm using the same tactics. I mean, it doesn't happen often, but I believe that we can learn a certain behavior by someone that we're with and start to mimic what they do.
Well, yeah.
Right. So it's very very rare, and I don't see it much. But yeah, I definitely think it can happen, but it's not our natural trait.
Right.
It's not.
And that's just that's something that, like, I think I want to look into that. Like, I want to know why is it so unnatural for us to not do that?
Because we're protectors.
Yeah.
I mean, if we do that, so people think that men just protect physically.
Right.
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 No, but we protect physically, emotionally, spiritually, financially, all of that.
Yep.
Right. So if we say something, if we weaponize something you told us against you, then our natural state won't allow us to do that, because our natural state is being a protector.
Wants to take
That's
care
who we
of
are naturally.
Right.
Even though we don't know it, that's just our natural state.
It's innate.
We're pissed off, we're hot, we're like, you know what? But it's just certain things that you won't say as a man.
Right.
I've been there.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm. That's crazy. But yeah, I think that is. I just don't. We don't hear about when men weaponizing things that was told to us,
Right,
for whatever
right,
reason.
right,
So,
right. All right, this next one.
what different defense mechanisms may men tend to utilize when triggered, and why those specific ones?
Jeez,
Damn.
I don't really think men use defense mechanisms, like, and they have to learn them, right? Like in the beginning. So a man's defense mechanism could be to go and drink or smoke or go to the bar because he's triggered, right?
Right.
But that's more of coping. So what a man should use is the ability to, one, express how he feels to his girlfriend or spouse. This was going on. I need time. And even though it had nothing to do with her, right? It could or couldn't. But then have a tribe of men that you can call on, talk to get off your chest. Because even though we tell our significant other that, hey, this is what's going on, most of the time they can't help us, and they shouldn't have to, because they're not a man, right? They can't understand. The job is a whole space, right? So this is what's going on. You know what? I'm gonna go call Barron. right?
Right.
And then I need about an hour. So
In a perfect world, like I 1,000% agree with that. In a perfect world, what holds us back, well, some of us back, is our egos.
yeah,
Our egos won't allow us to reach out to other men. Our egos won't allow us to, to be vulnerable to other men
right,
because we don't want to feel like less than a man.
right,
B, we think that they're gonna talk about us once we leave the room.
right,
C, we don't think that they understand, and we only think that we're the only ones in that particular struggle at that particular time. We're the only ones that ever been through it, so nobody's going to understand, so I'm going to hold it in.
right,
Now, that's the reality of what most men in this world do, which is why our suicide rate is
right,
high, which is
right,
why our life rate is what it is, our life expectancy is what it is, because we don't do exactly what you did,
right,
what you said.
right,
So, in dealing with that reality, the defense mechanisms that we may use may be the coping of alcohol,
right,
cigarettes, weed, whatever it is. But it's also those subtle coming in and you're being really quiet. You go straight, just significant other asks you, how was your day? It's a quick one-liner. You had a complete shitty day. Your boss pissed you off.
right,
You may have had issues with clients, customers, what have you, but she's not going to understand that. So I'm not even going to bring it up. It was a hard day. I'm just going to, yeah, it was good. So now you build this wall
right,
between you and her,
right,
and you don't allow her in because you don't feel that she can A, handle it, B, even want to know. You're just asking to be quote unquote nosy.
right.
And her intentions are pure, her intentions are good, and that could lead up to the past, what was the question about? Past experiences
Yeah,
paralyze
yeah,
men.
yeah, yeah.
Those past experiences could paralyze you from being vulnerable, from tearing that wall down. So that wall now gets reinforced. This woman is asking you multiple times, and you just keep building that wall. You keep building that wall through various nothing's wrong, through various I'm going out, through various leave me alone.
Right, right, right.
It could be those type of conversations that you're having. It could be those lash out, those quick anger bursts. It could even be those sitting down and sitting right next to each other and not saying a word,
Right.
because of the wall that you built. And so now it's hard to tear that wall down because it's higher and higher, and it gets wider and wider, and it causes the divide greater and greater.
Let me ask you this question. So you mentioned building a wall,
Hmm.
right? If I, as a boyfriend or husband, build a wall, am I building a wall by myself? Because does my partner have a responsibility in like breaking a wall down or removing the bricks? Or I'm trying to figure out is it if the other partner doesn't allows me to build that wall, are they partly responsible? And I don't know. It's a question that just popped in my head.
So
What do you think?
it is, relationships are built on teamwork. It's
Right.
always, it's two.
Right.
So if I'm your significant other and I see that you're building a wall and I just keep asking the same questions and I see this wall getting bigger and bigger and bigger, I'm partly responsible
Okay.
because I see this getting bigger and bigger and I'm not asking you the right questions. I'm not asking you, the question should be no longer how was your day? The question
Right.
should be, I see that there's distance between us.
Right.
How can we get
Right.
this distance better? Because I want this to be
I see that wall
X,
being
Y,
built.
Z.
Yeah.
I see the wall getting bigger and bigger, and before it becomes too tall or too overwhelming. See how I changed that up? see, before it becomes too overwhelming, I want to get this taken care of before it becomes because before this mountain becomes a mole, this molehill becomes a mountain. It becomes smaller, and now you ignore it, and you don't just sweep it under the rug.
The reality is like really is like how many people, men or women, have the maturity level to actually do that?
It's very hard. It's very difficult. I would say half, if that.
Half?
And I'm being generous.
Yeah, you're
Here's
being
the
very
reason
generous.
why.
Yeah.
Because we all are going through life individually.
Right.
And sometimes, whether it's a spouse or just somebody you're hanging out with, especially if it's somebody you're hanging out with, you worry, or you could ask yourself, am I really truly that invested in this relationship to deal with that?
Right. Right.
You know, and you start asking yourselves these questions. And if you're always asking these questions when things come up and you never deal with those things that come up, then yeah, you're kind of like you're questioning relationship.
Right.
You're questioning the relationship more than you are actually in the relationship.
Right.
So yeah, if I'm building a wall, it's not up to my wife or it's not up to my spouse to break that wall. It's up to my wife or spouse to acknowledge that there is a wall.
Right.
I see it.
Right.
I know you see
Right.
it. We got to get this wall. Let's work together to get this wall down.
Right. Yeah,
You know, not try to break through it herself, because as soon as she does that, as soon as she breaks through a space in that wall, he's still building,
Yeah.
because he doesn't acknowledge that there's somebody trying to break through. He just, I'm so focused on building a wall.
Yeah.
So you're never going to truly break through. It has to be a collaborative effort.
Yeah. Or maybe thinking that, maybe the spouse is not responsible for helping you, break down that wall, right? Maybe their job is to help support you in breaking that wall down, right? Because I always come back to us, and we have to be the ones that get the support, get the help, and heal. And I don't believe that our spouse or something other can heal us. I believe that they can support us in our own healing, because we went through so much before they even got into the picture, right? So how could they heal something that, and this may sound weird, I'm gonna say it for lack of a better term or phrase, how can they heal something that they didn't cause, but they can support us in healing that? That makes sense?
Yeah.
They can be there for
They
us,
can,
walk us through it.
They can definitely be the ones that help us heal, even though they didn't cause the injury.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, there you go.
They don't.
Yep,
They
yep.
can definitely help us heal. You can,
Like a doctor, right? In a sense.
exactly.
Yeah.
You can go outside right
yeah.
now,
Gotcha.
and something can happen to you. You can go to the doctor, and that doctor or nurse can help you heal. They didn't cause the injury.
Right.
They didn't. They wasn't there. They had no parts of that traumatic event.
Right.
But they can give you a space to heal.
Right.
They can let you know that I know that you're hurting.
Right.
Acknowledgement is
Right.
just a
That's huge.
That's huge, and that's half the battle.
Right.
Acknowledging that you're hurt, acknowledging that I see that you're hurt, and you need XYZ to heal.
Right.
It takes a tough person to say that, and it takes an even tougher person to accept it and actually try to live in that healing process.
Cool.
Because if you live in the mud, you're gonna stay muddy.
Yeah. All right. Women go through different stages in their sexuality as they mature. Is this the same for men?
We've talked about this how, yes. The answer is yes. Women go through different sexual stages, of course. Yes. Is it the same for men? Yes. The reason why it's the same for men is because as young men, we didn't get proposition for sex as early as women. So their sexuality stages, they started sexual experiences early, and we're talking as a whole,
right?
As a group, a sex group.
Yeah.
They started earlier, so they had an opportunity to experience the highs and the lows of sexuality, and so as they get older, sometimes it's not as important to them. So when it's not as important to you, you don't pay it that much attention.
Right.
If you don't pay it that much attention, then it becomes, it happens if it happens. I'm cool if I'm cool if it does. I'm cool if it doesn't. We not necessarily like that. we're physical creatures, we're visual creatures, and we didn't start as early as, so when we get approached and we get, proposition, oh yeah, run that, yeah, because we don't get that doesn't happen a lot. That's why all of these relationships, and they're like, it's Christmas, it's my birthday, so it's, supposed to get that special time. It's because we look forward to that, and some guys don't have that, and they don't have that, that it's supposed to be an everyday type of thing, and so we want it, and we don't get it that often, so we tend to, when it does happen and it comes our way, yeah, we cherish it. We really want that. So our stages are different. We started later, so our sexual race is different.
Yeah. So I have a different view of this one, right? So I would say yes, it definitely changes. For me, how I changed, like, early on, whatever, teenager, young adult, my sexual goal was to have sex, but my goal was to, I'm gonna go in there and get mine. It's all about my pleasure and me, right? Which back then I thought was cool,
Right.
So now, as I mature and I got older, I have the same mindset in a sense, but also my goal is immature is to make sure that I please my mate as well too, right? Because no, like, what, if this is what I feel and I'm after, maybe she's after the same thing. So how I mature is like, what, I definitely want to make sure that if I'm doing this, I'm gonna make sure that my mate has what she needs, so she can, have the same pleasure, right?
Right.
And also I matured in a sense where, communicating, right? Is this what you like? Is what you not like? Is this okay? And I think instead of just like, as a young kid, you just pop it in and go, right?
Right.
But as you mature as a man, and I think this goes along to your sexual experience, and it just becomes, I think it becomes better as you get older because you know what you're doing.
Yep,
right?
I think that is just, like you said, we're young and we're just worried about getting ours, and we don't necessarily, our top concern isn't the person that we're laying down with.
Right.
I was fortunate enough to have, like, as an 18-year-old man, and I definitely can't give any names, but I had older people in my life, older men in my life, who would instill in me, like, if a woman decides to lay down with you, you do everything in your power to make sure that she's satisfied.
Oh wow, okay.
And
at 18, okay.
At 18, but these guys were 35, 40-year-old men. And they were telling me this as an 18-year-old man, thinking the way I think, I'm going to get mine. And they're like, no, young buck, you don't do that. Like, I'm going to kill this analogy. But he gave me this analogy of sheeps and three wolves. You heard of this? Sheeps on the bottom of the hill, and the young wolf and the old wolf. And the young wolf is like, I need to run down there and get all these sheep right now. And the old wolf is like, slow down, young wolf.
Yeah.
Pick one, get one, and then the rest will follow. To me, that meant you value her mind and you make love to her mind, and her body will follow. So I was like, man, I was sitting there blow like, huh?
I heard that story a different way.
Oh, well, yeah. I was taught to go after the body is simple.
Yeah.
When you can go after the mind and you can intrigue and you can make them laugh, the body's just gonna be like, oh, okay.
Right.
Body's just gonna follow. So these was, like I said, these was like 35, 43-year-old men, and here I am, 18, 19 years old, like, ooh.
Yeah.
And they're like, slow down. So shout out to them old heads. Y'all know who y'all are.
Yes, sir. All right, next one.
So again, we're reading this as it was given to us. So I have studied body language, and although it can vary from person to person, What are some telltale signs that a man is attracted to you? Eye contact. I definitely would say
Okay.
eye contact is one of them. Sometimes you just can't stop. You're just staring at him, and you're not like freaky, like creeper stare, but you're like there's a stare that when you guys lock eyes, it's like I'm interested in you, and I'm about to come over there and see what's going
Yeah.
on with you. So eye contact is one. Um, I would say touch is another, and him actually conversing with you and trying to invest in your story. Wants to know about you. He's not bored with anything. He wants to know about you. He enjoys your smile. He enjoys looking at you. These are some telltale signs. And if it's nonverbal, it's the eye contact. It's the subtle
Yeah.
hand touching, or
Yeah.
hand on the leg, or things of that nature. Yeah, you can tell.
Yeah.
You can tell.
I would say one is that he's very gentle with you,
Yeah.
right? He's gentle. He's soft. Um, a telltale sign that a man likes you, and because men do these things without even knowing, right? Because it's just, again, it's back to their natural protective state.
Right.
If you're messing with a dude, if if he kisses you on your forehead, that dude likes you,
Yes.
right? That dude, because, and we don't even know it, right? I'm like, I did that,
Right.
like yeah, you did. So if he does that, if he seeks you out, if you're somewhere and he goes to seek you out to make sure that you're safe, and walks to your car and opens your door, and do all these gentlemanly things,
Right.
he likes you, right?
Exactly.
So I think that one's pretty simple.
I think so. Yeah.
That
I
one's pretty
think so.
simple. All right, this next one. All right.
Okay.
So I have a friend who has been in a 3 year long this relationship, which with spans of 18 months at a time with no visits. Okay.
Oh.
They both desire to get married. However, he has made no plans to my friend on moving the relationship forward with either engagement or meeting family members. She has been advised to remain in her feminine energy and not press him, but she is wondering what his reasons are to move so slow as a 50-year-old man who has never been married.
I don't know. This question is crazy. Let's break it down because she has a friend who's been.
Let's do the first sentence.
Yes, I have a friend who has been in a 3 year long distance relationship that spans
With spans of 18 months
18
with
months
no visits.
with no visits. So just right there, 3 years. They've been in a long distance relationship for 3 years and haven't seen each other for over a year.
Almost 2 years, bro. It's 18
Almost,
months.
almost 2 years. See, I was trying to be nice. So almost 2 years. So again, we're just tackling the first
That's
sentence.
it.
3 year relationship, and almost for 2 years you haven't seen him or her. So that means you seen him and there was in a real relationship for about maybe a year, and then it fell off after 18 months. They both desire to get married. I don't see evidence of that here. I don't see evidence of
True.
getting married. So I don't. That's right there. That's proof right there that there's no evidence of getting married.
Maybe they both desire, but one doesn't want to. Well, okay, maybe they both desire, but he doesn't want to marry her.
That part. That's where I'm getting to. Like there is no relationship span for 18 months and
No visits.
no visits. That's on. You make time for what you want. You make time for what you want in your life.
Again,
And for
if
18
he
months,
seeks you out, then he likes you.
exactly.
This don't seem like seeking out.
He's
to me.
not seeking out. He's not, and they both desire to get married. I don't believe that, because if he desired to get married in 18 months, he would have found time to see her and visit her.
Yeah.
He has made no plans to my friend of moving the relationship forward. Of course not. He's been stalemate for 18 months.
Right.
Um, yeah, he doesn't care to meet family members because he's not interested. Why would I meet family members?
After 3 years, you have not met any family members.
Of course not. No, because you ain't seen them in 18 months.
That's weird.
Yeah, that's really weird to me.
That's weird. Okay.
There is no proof of this. This question contradicts a lot because I see no proof of marriage only because of the 18-month gap. They've only really been in a relationship for about a year, if that.
Right.
It's not 3 years. So maybe he's moved on and hasn't been man enough to, even for 18 months, he hasn't been man enough to tell her, hey, I moved on.
Yeah.
Because 18 months, no visits, 18 months or 3 years, I haven't moved forward. For 3 years, I haven't met a family. I haven't cared to meet a family member. So,
okay.
In essence, I think he's moved on.
So she's been advised to remain in her feminine energy.
From who?
And not pressure.
Who advised her to remain in her feminine energy and not pressure him? Who? I would like to know who that was. I guarantee you that came from him.
So is it, because I mean, I understand that both men and women, that we have both. We both have feminine. We both have masculine, right? We have both. So I don't believe that having conversations about, I mean, if you attack, you know, but hey, you know what, you know, can we check in? What's going on? That's not out of feminine energy, right?
No.
I think it's saying, you know, she was advised to shut her mouth and take what she gets and settle for this man. That's what I'm reading, right?
At this stage of their life,
yeah. And then he's 50,
right,
and never married.
Right.
Now, again, he could be in a place where he's not ready because of financially, emotionally. That's fine, but if that was the case, then he needs to communicate that to her. So because she's thinking something else, right? She's thinking that maybe this man don't want me, and I'm thinking the same thing too.
I'm thinking my mind is right there.
Maybe he doesn't want her.
Maybe.
Right. So, but after 3 years, and there's no sign of moving forward. I mean, if I date someone for 3 years and we both express that we want to get married, and this shit happens, and I don't meet no family, because I gotta meet family to know about you, to know who you are.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
If I ain't meet a family, then you know what, I'm good. So again, you know, we are not judging this man because we don't know him from Adam.
Just
right?
reading the question.
Just reading the question.
Yep.
And based on the content that we have, you know, our context is like, hey, you know what? This dude does not want her.
He doesn't want her. He's not ready to invest long term in this relationship for whatever reason.
Yeah.
He's not ready. He hasn't been ready for 18 months. He hasn't been ready because
for 3 years, bro. 18 months, 3 years.
Well, the fact is, for 18 months, there were no visits, no nothing.
Yeah.
And they were together for 3 years in a long distance relationship. I would love to know how this relationship started. Did it start off long distance?
Yeah.
You know, or were you guys together for a year and after that it became long distance because of, you know, could have been work, it could have been any type of situation. And now that space has been there.
Yeah.
And maybe it's like, this wasn't never really that important to me.
Obviously, like what you accept becomes your life. So
exactly.
Well, let's move on. Go ahead. Reread that one.
Please discuss, are men attracted to soft femininity?
It's a two-part.
Are men struggling today to find this woman today? Yeah, that does say this woman. Okay. Oh no, that just says, I'm gonna read it. I gotta read it exactly how. Yeah, are men struggling today to find this in women today?
It's all part of the same question. Like,
okay.
All that.
So we'll just start it all over again. Please discuss, are men attracted to soft femininity? Are men struggling today to find this in women today? And can a woman become feminine and have a strong, confident personality and find this attractive rather than intimidating?
Amen, yeah.
Men find this intimidating, attractive. I actually love it. I actually love a woman that knows
Well, answer the first question first.
Oh yeah, I did go. I don't like them. I don't like them too. I don't like a yes. I call them a yes female, like those whatever you likes. I don't like those. I don't like them to be too soft like that. Now I do like. Now is this soft in
I think as far as like personality,
personality?
emotionally,
Then yes, because I don't need another me
right,
when it comes to my personality. I don't need that. I need my lady to be. I need considerate. I need her to be the softer side of me. I need her to be the you know what? Yeah, that could be a possibility. You're right. I need that.
right.
I don't need the. Yeah, you're right. I don't. You doing that? Yeah, I wouldn't do it either. Fuck that. No, I don't need that. I need you to be the softer side of me. So yeah, I am attracted to that. I do like that. Um, are they struggling? I don't know. That's a question you got to answer. That one.
Right.
I don't know. I don't know about that one. Um, I would think they are because women have to. Well, we talked about this. I think last week how women have become more. I wouldn't say dominant, but more masculine
Yeah.
because of the lack of masculinity that we offered in their lives in the past.
Right.
Now that men are evolving and they're being there more for their families, they're being there more for their kids, they're there now. Women doesn't have to do it as much now, but it has to be unlearned. They have to unlearn how to do that. Like my mom didn't have the luxury to be super soft when she, deemed she showed love, but she also showed dedication. She showed work ethic. She showed, how to be responsible for your house, how to take care of others, how to sacrifice yourself to give to your family. So I learned that. But I would say that she could have, the softer side of her could have been there a little bit more as far as to tell her sons, I love you. I want to, I hug you more, or I'm proud of you, or things of that nature. But she couldn't do that as much because she had to work and provide.
Right.
So I get it, but she had to be there. She had to be that mother and that father when the father wasn't there. And now that the fathers are there, they're more now than they were in the past.
Right.
So now the woman has to kind of unlearn that behavior of you don't have to be the man and the mother at the same time. You can fall back even if you're not together with your the kid's father. You don't have to. The father's going to be there for his kid.
Yeah.
So you don't have to. But I think you have to unlearn that now, and it's starting to turn the corner to where they're realizing that okay, there are good men out there. I don't have to be so strung out, so gun ho. I can have a mate and be equals because he's of equal value to me.
Right.
So it's starting to turn the corner. But I do believe that that's the reason why men struggle today in finding that soft feminine woman is because the soft feminine woman had to become more masculine because of what we were doing in turn years ago. So that answers that one. The third one. And can a woman be feminine and have strong, confident personality, and men find this attractive rather than intimidating? Depends on the man.
Yeah.
Depends on the man. Man intimidating. Oh well, if it's me, then I actually love it. It's attractive to me to have a confident woman and say, to just give me feedback.
Yeah.
I don't need that. Yes, that's the right way, sweetheart.
Right.
Yes, that's the right thing. This is the right thing. And then we both get lost. And now, you knew we should have went left. Why you didn't tell me we should have went left? I would have listened, but that's the key right there. I would have listened if, you would have told me. But if they feel that you're not going to listen as a man, they're just going to be quiet and let you figure the shit out by yourself.
But you would listen to her if she came to you like in a soft manner.
Correct. It's never what you say. It's always
Right.
how you say
Right.
it.
Right.
So learning your partner and learning how to speak to your partner is actually key, because you can say you should have made a left in a way that doesn't attack him or he doesn't feel attacked.
Yeah.
You can say, the map said we should have made a left. I think we need to circle back and go back around. And I'm not, you got us lost. Now you don't know how to pull over. I'll drive. Well, hold on. Fall back. So we missed that exit. Okay, we'll circle back around and we'll be back on the right track.
Right.
So I think it just becomes, that's experience too. Like I think over time, knowing your partner, over time, having conversations, having check-ins, those things don't become so big, because the person saying it has every great intention for everybody involved, and it's not an attack.
Right.
It's just a guide. You're the navigator, so navigate.
All right. Cool.
Yep.
All right. So, are men attracted to soft femininity? So I'm speaking myself. Okay. 100% yes. There's nothing like for me a soft woman that remains in her femininity, because I think for me I have to be going, be strong, the leader, and I need that in a sense in my life, that balance, right? That I can come home and I can rest assured that I'm coming home to a soft place, or I'm talking to someone who's soft and who's kind, and that can in a sense take me out of that beast mode in a sense. Right.
Yeah.
Because I can't live in beast mode 24/7. I can't be in defense mode 24/7. So if I have this soft woman that's like, you know what, let me put some of this softness into you to take some of that pressure off. Right. So are men today struggling to find this in women today? I'm gonna say yes. It's a major struggle, because we did an episode a while back about why men stop helping women. Right? It's because
that was a good episode.
It was, and it's because, like, you know what? It's always, I think we're in the I don't need a man era, and I'm fine with that, right? But I think it's hard, because there's so much right now red pill, blue pill stuff going on, right?
Exactly.
And it's hard for us to find that, because women are buying into the independent. I can do it alone. I don't need a man. I mean, and fine. I mean, and that's cool with me, right? I'm good with that. But it's this social media that's saying, hey, you know what? You can do it all by yourself, and it'll be easier. You have more fun. I don't buy into that, but if you do, that's fine. So yes, I do think that it's a struggle for us to find that today, because now everybody's conditioned to be hard, and you can't penetrate.
Whoa.
And you can't. You can't. I have to be this hard person, right?
Right.
I gotta do things my way, right? And if you come in and try to change anything, then this is how it's going to be,
right?
And that's what people end up breaking up, because you have to change when you meet someone.
It's called. You got to compromise.
Not change, compromise.
You got to compromise. Yeah, it's compromise. It should be a merger of the two.
Right. And can a woman be feminine and have a strong, confident personality, and men find this attractive rather than intimidating? Yes, 1,000%. I absolutely love a woman that can be soft, but then when time comes, they're assertive. They're up there, because I ain't gonna always be there.
Right.
Because I need to know that if I'm not there, you can protect yourself, right? Or if I'm not there and someone's talking shit about me, no. You better you watch that.
Right.
That's my man. That's my dude.
Exactly.
Right? So and someone that can give you a little bit of respectful pushback, right?
I think that's the key word.
Respectful pushback. Yep. Because like you, I don't want a yes ma'am. Right. You know what? Hey babe, I hear you, but like, you know what? Let's look at it from this point of view. Right. And if I miss something, did you do that? Did you accomplish your goal today?
Right.
You know, what'd you do? How was work? Did you get that deal? Right?
Exactly.
That's what I want, someone who's also going to keep me accountable to my shit.
Yep.
Right?
And she's engaged and she's emotionally invested in your life.
Yeah.
It's something amazing when you have that, because we all want that accountability partner.
Right.
What better accountability partner can you possibly have than your spouse or your significant other,
Right.
whoever you're with? Because that person sees you on a daily basis.
Right.
That person sees you when you're at your best. That person sees you when you're at your worst. So yes, that person should be emotionally invested in you. So how great could it be if I like collaboration?
Right.
I love, from a business standpoint, from a work standpoint, from a personal, like I never think I have all the answers.
Right.
I like to sit at a table. This is what I got. This is what you got.
Right.
Let's put this shit together
Right.
and make it perfect for us, because I didn't think about that part. That's a good part. That's a good part I didn't think about. Now you take this part, whatever I have, and add it to that. Now we have the perfect solution that works for not just me, but it works for everybody around us. So why would you not want that? Collaboration is key. And you need to learn how to collaborate. It can't just be one way in a relationship.
Right.
You know. So I love that respectful pushback. I love it.
I was on a phone call with somebody a while back, right? And it was a young lady. I was telling her my schedule for the next day, right? This is my schedule, blah 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 blah. The next day at 11:30, I got a text. What'd you accomplish today? I'm like, what? Is this real? Right? And like, I think that's important, because accountability is huge, right? Especially if someone is your partner. Imagine if men and women did that for each other every single day. How much further and how much more can we build?
Man,
right?
Yeah, because you have a consistent goal, and you're not only setting goals, you're crushing them as you move on.
Right.
So it's like, okay, and even if in the back of our head we're thinking, let me go ahead and get this accomplished, because I know person A is going to ask me about it, and I don't want to have that. I don't know, or I didn't do that conversation. So now we motivating ourselves through not disappointing our significant other. So again, it's a plus. It's a win-win situation. You're crushing goals because of, not only for yourself, because you don't want to disappoint the person you're with.
Yeah.
So iron sharpens iron, and it should be that way both ways. It should be that way. Me asking you, how was your day? What did you crush today? What goals did you crush today?
Right.
And you go from there, because we're building together.
Yeah.
So,
all right. What do you value most in a relationship? For me, and this is something that I had to think about, because I'm like, there's so much that you can do, right? So much you can value, and one of the top 3 things for me is reciprocation. Right? Is that this is what, because reciprocation for me shows you how much you value me, right? I don't want to be the one that's always asking to go out, the one that's always making the phone calls, always sending the text messages. The one it's if it's 90% me and 10% you, that's not reciprocation. At some point, I feel like I'm fucking begging you now, right?
Yep.
And that's a place that I will never be in. Right. So as a whole, I think reciprocating what that man does for you, and showing him, he's showing me how valuable I am. Let me now show him that, I see that. I see you, I feel the same way. But if you don't, tell him, because at some point you're like, I'm not getting back equal value that I'm giving. I mean, if you look at it as a business, what business are you going to go into, or partnership you're going to go into, if you're not getting equal value out of that partner?
Right.
If you and I would get equal value, this podcast wouldn't be here.
No.
Our community wouldn't be there.
No.
All our courses and everything, it wouldn't be there, because we're not giving equal value.
Right.
So I think reciprocation, equal value for me is pretty big.
And I think that's a great one because that provides a lasting and a certain longevity to a relationship. It's almost like playing tennis.
Yeah.
It's almost playing a relationship of tennis, go back and forth. I'm not, you hit it this way, I'm going to hit it that way. I'm not going to play. That's the most boring game. Imagine tennis with just one person.
Yeah.
That's racquetball, but you got to have a wall to hit it off of.
Yeah.
For me, I think it's loyalty. Mine is loyalty, loyal to the relationship, loyal to my well-being, loyal to building and growing. Certain things that I can tell you, I know it's not gonna get out. Certain things I can be vulnerable with you, and I know that what you're telling me is gonna come from a place of support. So loyalty for me, I mean, you can be vulnerable in loyalty. I can be vulnerable and know that your loyalties are not going to change because I changed in vulnerability. I came to you vulnerable. I'm no longer that provider that I am right now, but I'm vulnerable now because maybe I've lost my job. Maybe I've lost something about my personal life that makes me feel inadequate, but I can be vulnerable with you because I know you're going to be loyal to me. So loyalty to me is like, man, like that is one of the things. I think it's tatted on me somewhere. I'm big on loyalty and relationships. So loyalty would be one of the most valued things I value in a relationship.
And I was going back and forth between loyalty and reciprocation. Yeah, because I think they're like neck and neck. But so
I think you're splitting hairs,
Right.
But you want what you put in a relationship. You obviously want to be able to get that out.
Right.
What qualities do you find most attractive in a partner?
Physically, mentally. I mean, physically it's
I mean, let's attack both. Let's just say let's attack the physical part first because we're men.
right.
I love the walk.
Ah,
I love the walk of a woman.
yeah.
The way a woman walks, the way she sways, the way everything about her, and it's just the way she moves. The walk of a woman is amazing to me. Crazy simple thing I love is a bun. I love a good bun. I love a good bun on a woman because it shows to me, and I could be wrong, but a bun to me shows confidence in a woman where it's her natural hair and it's up, it's out of her face. She doesn't need hair to accentuate her beauty. She has a beautiful face already, so the bun just highlights that. Buns to me are extremely attractive. The softness of a woman is extremely attractive to me, and I'm huge on smells. So the scent of a woman is that just drives me crazy. Like I like Dolce & Gabbana light blue right now because of a woman.
Gotcha. Okay.
Okay. And then when we talk about the mental aspect of it all, it's the unconditional love, like to know that somebody has your back and you have their back no matter what, and y'all been through some shit and y'all come through some shit, and the growth. That is another thing. Like I love the mindset, the stability, the support. The support of a woman is crucial to a man. They have the ability to tear us down just as quickly as they have the ability to build us and hold us up. And I don't think that they know how much power that they have in that.
They do now.
They do now. I mean, like, if our battery is at 0, I'm just going to ask. This is for the ladies, and I'm going to ask you. You're going to prove my point. Your battery is at a 0%. How much do you need from a woman to go forward, to press on, to keep pushing? How much, if your battery is at a 0, what would you need your battery at to push forward? And how much of that would you need from a woman?
To push forward, my question would be like, how far forward, right?
Just to move forward from, let's just say, another week. Your battery's at 0.
Another week, I say I can do 50% of the week,
Mm-hmm.
and if I got 15, 20, from her, but that 15, 20 would perform like 100 for me, because now I'm motivated because she's pouring into me and putting into me, and even though she's not putting as much energy into me,
Mm-hmm.
the way I feel, it's going to push my 50 up to 100.
Exactly. So then that's the part where I don't think the ladies understand. I think sometimes they feel they have to, if our battery is at a 0, they feel like they have to get our battery at 100. They have to give so much of themselves in order for us to keep pressing on. That is a myth. And ladies, all we need is 15. 50, give us a little bit. You give us a little bit, and it's enough to just make us go right through that wall. It's enough to make us go press forward, because
Like, shit, she believes in me? Oh, let's go.
Let's go. Man, she told me I can do it.
Let's go.
I can do it. So it doesn't take much from women for us to put that battery in our back. It's it's simple things. Oh, you'll do that. You got that. I have all the confidence in the world. If a woman tells me I have all the confidence in the world in you, oh my, mic drop. You do? Oh, okay. And you gonna go out there and you gonna attack.
We all submit and start blushing.
Right. Us blushing. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. You really, it's the words of a woman. Now, I don't know why you doing that. I can't see you doing that. Oh, we're torn down. Like what we thought we were, shit, we might as well be something on the bottom of our shoe at this point.
What does the Bible say? Life and death is in the power of the tongue.
Power of the tongue. That's what them old heads used to tell me too. That's what them old heads used to tell me, but they wasn't talking about talking. They crazy.
You stupid.
But yeah, we definitely got off track.
So what quality do I find most attractive?
Yeah.
I would say one, it would be just the confidence that you have in yourself, confidence in your mental and your physical. The walk and how you carry yourself is big, right? And also a good quality for me is you as my partner allowing me to help. Sorry, we're here. Allowing me and my experience to help you get you where you want to be in your life, right? If you are the person that I'll do it by myself, I'll do it alone, and don't want to help, I'm kind of good on that, right? Because I want to be able to use my life experience, listen to your goals, and say, you know what, I can help with that.
Right.
You know what? Let's do this. If it's like, nah, I'm just used to not doing it. Okay, then you do that. But now I'm gonna go over here.
Right. You don't need to be in a relationship either.
Right.
Right,
because it's not. I mean, and I get it. People have certain ways that they live life, right? Because if a woman has had to be the man and take care of her family, for our life, I get that. Right. I get that. But when a real one steps in and say, you know what, this is what I can add to your life,
right?
Not take away.
I'm an
not
additive.
confused.
Yep.
I'm going to add. And you're like, well, I've been so used to. Okay, I get it. But are you willing to work through that? Right. If you are, cool. We can do it. Right. Also, I love nice hands and nice feet. Right. So if you well groomed there, we good to go.
Yeah, I gotta have your hygiene taken care of. Yeah.
All right.
Can't be scratching my sheets.
What's something you're proud of?
Didn't we answer that already?
that we're proud of?
Yeah, did we answer that? I could have swore we answered.
We did answer that one. Okay,
We did answer that one.
that was in
Check
episode
the other
one.
check episode one if you want that
no, not
answer.
episode one, part one.
Part one, yeah, part one answers that question.
What's your biggest fears in part one too? Right.
Part one's in that one.
Go after part one for those two. What is the coolest place you've ever been?
This is random. These came from women.
Yeah.
What is the coolest place you've ever been? I was in Tulum about 2 years ago.
Okay.
And that was crazy because the actual tombs make noise when you clap.
Yeah.
So if you clap really loud, there's an echo. Like if I clap and I wait a couple of minutes, you will hear the clap on the other side of the tomb.
Okay.
It was crazy. And then we went swimming in this underwater cave.
Nice.
It was creepy, but it was tight. So it was an experience I've never experienced that before. I love to drink water. I love a lot of water, but in Mexico they were like, "Don't drink the water." Like the natives were like, "Don't drink the water. Don't drink the water." So I never drank a lot. I didn't drink. I think I had one bottle of water for 4 days I was there.
Wow.
But one thing I did drink was their tequila.
Tequila.
Tequila's everywhere. So I would say Tulum was one of the coolest places I've ever been.
For me, it would be Hawaii.
Hawaii's great too.
Hawaii was amazing because I was actually in the water. So Hawaii for me was bittersweet, and I'll tell you why. Sweet because got to experience it. Got to I had a room like right off the beach, and as I was in the water, the crystal clear water, there was a sea turtle swimming next to me. Right, a big old sea turtle. That was amazing. So it was bitter because on the day I was leaving was January 26, 2020. Right. And that was the day Kobe died.
Right. I was like, that day sounds so familiar.
I'm like, what? So it was bittersweet, at Hawaii there for me. All right. So we're almost there.
We're almost there. Wow.
Yeah.
Yes.
Why do some guys get into pissing matches having to prove themselves? What is wrong with being okay? So let's do this first one first. So why do some guys get into pissing matches having to prove themselves? It happens.
It happens. Every man that doesn't grow the same way.
Right.
We don't all have. There's different levels, different layers to all of us, and different triggers for all of us. And it may not be so much as a pissing match. It could have been he was triggered for some reason. You know, we all have our triggers, and when we react to those triggers, everybody else sees it as, oh, he's in a pissing match, or why is he trying to assert his dominance? In actuality, he may not like to be talked to in that disrespectful manner, or that person may have called him something that is completely disrespectful.
Right.
It doesn't necessarily mean he's in a pissing match. It means that he was triggered. So for that sake, I would say it's his history, it's his past, it's his experiences, it's his traumas, either from growing up or from past relationships, that have him trying to prove himself in the public eye, or having to assert himself or beat his chest to show his masculinity. Yeah, chest. I said chest.
You said beat.
Whoa! I can't say beat. Okay, can't say beat. Beat. But yeah, having him, to feel like he's this, this man that he is. He has to assert himself, has to be seen. So I would say, I would just look at the person get information before you, assume that there's a pissing match going on. That's definitely a woman's question.
Oh, yeah. So for me, this one simple was like, why do some guys get in pissing matches having to prove themselves? We don't want to feel like we're weak.
Right.
That's it. We just want to maintain this strong persona, this strong image. But it hurts us, right? All right, the next one, go ahead and read it.
What is wrong with being wrong and saying so? I have no problems with. So when you know that you don't have all the answers,
Yeah.
when you know that you're not right all the time, when you
Yeah.
know that there's room for correction in things that you say, you don't necessarily get offended by being wrong, and you don't get offended by saying that you're wrong. Um, like I said, I like to collaborate. So that means sometimes my way might not be the best way. But if my way is not the best way, we damn sure better find a way.
Right.
You know, we're not going to just say your way is not the best way. We're not going to move forward at all. No,
Yeah.
no, 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 no. Then
Yeah.
what's the best way to move forward?
Yeah.
So I'm always constantly looking to learn. I'm always constantly learning from experiences,
Yeah.
environment, conversations, everything, because the day you stop learning is the day that you die.
Right.
You know, you're learning all the way up until you in 6 feet in the ground.
Right. Right.
And you should be trying to level up every step. Everything that you do, you should try to be better than you were. Every situation that you're in, you should try to be better in that situation moving forward. You only get that way through collaboration.
Right.
You only get that way through learning and having to be wrong. And then if you're right all the time, you never know what wrong looks like.
Right.
And so you build this self-confidence and this false sense of self in yourself,
Right.
where now nobody can tell you anything.
Right.
And your way is the only way.
Right.
And, you know, I always say my way is not the only way, but my way is the best way for me.
Right.
You know, and to know me is to know which way I'm moving or not moving.
Right.
So I would say there's nothing wrong with being wrong. I think those that live in themselves and think too highly of themselves, those are the ones that have a problem with being wrong. Those are the ones that will never even admit to being wrong.
Yeah. So I believe that being wrong is a part of being alive, right? You're going to not be right about certain things. But my question to this lady is he wrong, or are you making him feel that he's wrong? Right? Because if I tell you, Barron, you know what, Matt, bro, you are wrong.
Right.
What is being wrong? How does being wrong make you feel?
Well, my question is, what am I wrong about? Why?
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Like if I'm telling you wrong, is you being wrong? Is it a good feeling for you? If
No.
Okay, it's not a good feeling.
No, it's not.
So no one wants to feel the feeling of being wrong, right? So it goes back to the conversation, the communication, right? It's like if you're making this guy feel wrong or feel shame for something that he's done, then I think that's backward. But if he screws up and say, you know what, babe, you know what, I was wrong, my bad, right? And then you guys walk through it. But is it like an attack? You know, you wrong, you did this. I think that's different, right? And I know that's different because we are not going to respond in the way that you want to. We may react,
right,
but not respond. So it all comes down to the communication. How are you guys talking? At what point does he figure out he's wrong? Is he saying he's wrong just to pacify you, to shut you up, or does he really feel that he's wrong? But again, that comes down to the communication, right? Because no one's always right 100% of the time.
No,
I think I've been wrong more than I've been right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So, but I can recognize that. But at the same time, I don't want nobody saying that you're wrong, I'm right.
Right.
Because that's going to cause it's going to cause a rift.
And it shuts down the conversation. It shuts down immediately, because if I say that I'm wrong or you're wrong and I'm right, and don't validate that, I'm just saying that, how much of that is a person actually going to listen to anyway? You know, you just saying that just to say that, but what's wrong with this?
Right.
And what's right with this?
Right.
And show me that. Don't just tell me, because I'm the type of person where you can tell me all you want, but if I don't see it for myself, I'm not going to learn it.
Right.
You know, so I learn, you got to by showing. And again, it's we say it. I think all of these questions, it comes down to not what you say. It's all about how you say it.
Right.
And you learn how you say and how you speak to people through knowledge and experiences with the person.
Right.
So it's you have to learn how to say those
Right.
type of things,
Right.
how to have those
Right.
conversations.
Right.
But
All right.
how many guys you know look at women either consciously or subconsciously as possessions? Like I got a girl.
I don't know what the last one means.
I gotta maybe that means like I gotta have that girl.
Gotcha.
Maybe maybe that's what it is. Maybe that's what
Well, I would say, probably a lot, but I would say like most men are territorial,
yeah.
right? Like this is my girl, she's with me, you may glance or look, but you get one,
Right.
that's it. Don't talk to you, don't put your hand
Don't
on,
touch.
don't breathe, especially if you see her with me,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because a man is so protective of the girl that he wants, it will come down to somebody getting fucked up, right? And
Yep.
and you share a story with me about you.
I got
right?
you. Yep.
But that's how men are.
Yep.
So for me, I don't see my girl or whoever as a possession.
Right.
It's just something that something I'm super protective of, and I will protect her and possess somebody's nose, if they step the wrong way,
Pretty much.
right? So that's how I feel about that.
So yeah, so we'll be transparent for the readers, for our listeners here. So as I was telling you, we were at a bar, me and my wife, and like I have no problems with eyes. I have no problems with
Human.
that because I'm confident.
To me, it's a compliment, right?
It's a compliment.
Right.
It's like, damn, okay, I walked in with a baddie. Okay,
Right.
cool,
Right.
cool. Y'all go ahead and look. I have even gone as far as to catch the dude staring, and I'm tapping them like, yeah, she bad, huh? Yeah, she bad. I get it. But so this one particular guy at this bar, he and I make eye contact first. And he's walking past, and the whole time he's staring at my wife. I'm like, cool, no problem. He's walking past her, and he's still staring at my wife. All right, bro, keep it pushing. So at this point now, he reaches out and like grabs her arm.
Oh no.
So
No.
that's violation right there.
You violated,
So
bro.
I have my oldest daughter was there, my pit bull. I didn't have to even, I didn't have to jump up, but she did her thing. She's like, no, she's married, and she did it in a very abrupt way.
Yeah.
But I was upset at the guy because that was violation.
He knew you existed.
He knew.
Yeah.
Bro, we've made eye contact. I seen you see me,
With
see
her.
you.
Yeah.
So I let you get one look. I let you get two looks. But now you put your hands on her. Now it's like, okay, I don't mind going to jail for, defending my family. I don't mind. And I'm at that point where I don't fight. I don't want to fight. I don't want to do that. I definitely don't want to fight in a public
I
place.
will protect and defend.
I don't. I don't. But if I have to go that route, like I say, I don't run from smoke. I'm not scared of smoke. I climb chimneys for smoke. I don't care about it. But what you're not going to do is be disrespectful.
Right.
As a man,
Right.
that's disrespectful. So as a man, I need to put you in your place.
Right.
It never got to that because the owner of the establishment removed that gentleman because that wasn't the first time he had done something like that. So that gentleman was removed, and we enjoyed the rest of our night. But I don't trip on eyes looking wherever they need to look because they're supposed to. But when the violation is you get into a personal space and you start grabbing on her and touching on her and stuff like that, that's crazy disrespectful. Because my thought process is, what would you have done if I wasn't here? The guy.
Right.
What would you have done if I wasn't here? You would have been all kind of out of pocket kind of stuff, and that's where it gets. So I'm not possessive in that sense, but I am territorial. So and that goes with family, kids, and everything.
Listen, because I think sometimes in the humanity we make words more bigger or more destructive or more evil than they have to be. Now, the word possession means that I possess something of value.
Right.
Look it up real quick. Look at possession because I'm thinking like, so if I possess, so if my girl is with me, you know, and she's mine, then and she's something of value, I do possess her then, right? Because possession is I have something that is of value,
Right.
This is what I'm thinking.
You're not wrong.
That's what I'm thinking.
Let's look it up.
What's the definition?
Meaning. There's so many possession, the state of having, owning, or controlling something.
Okay, well that's not that one.
An item of property, something belonging to one. So there's multiple one property or something belonging to me. Territory or country controlled by government.
Well, in that context, then no. But the way I saw it was something different, right? It's like something that's a value that I have.
Yeah,
and that's my girl, right? That's my wife. That's whoever, right? So, but to me, it's not ownership. You know, I don't own you at all, right?
So then I think that possession could be subjective. Then
it can. It's something of value to me.
It's something of value because possession. That's 9/10 of the law.
Right.
We possess. Yeah, we're possessions. Like my wife is part of my possession. My kids are part of my possession. And when you devalue that, when you disrespect it, it's a problem. What are the 3 worst traits of a woman? Top 3 worst traits of women. Women that don't want to compromise.
Right.
Women that think their way is the only way, and women that don't make room to listen to their women, to their men.
Yeah.
Yep.
So for me, it would be no accountability, super masculine, and no accountability.
So no accountability.
No accountability.
So ladies, take accountability.
Accountability. So. All right, so I think we're good. So
I think
that was part 2.
Part 2.
So if any questions in here that we didn't answer, please put them in the comments. But I think we're good, right?
I think we're good, bro.
All right. So guys, thank you for watching Filtered by Him, the #1 podcast for men's health and wellness. We'll see you guys next time. Please share, please like, please subscribe. Have a good week. Peace.